everyone, it's Wacky Anime Milf here to present you with What If Deku Had the Milf System, Part 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. Currently, Izuku Midoriya is laying down in his bed. It's been an entire week since he was at the Bakugo's house, and honestly it was quite funny since he recollected on what happened. Bakugo ended up literally chasing him all the way towards his school, and accidentally ended up exploding off towards him, only to realize Izuku just moved out of the side, and he just flew into a garbage can, which was near the school. Like, the house across the school had a garbage can, and when Izuku avoided it, he literally crash collisioned into the garbage can, and then the actual dump truck appeared, and it immediately grabbed the garbage can and put him into the pile and drove off with him. It was so funny. Mainly because a few hours later, he came to class completely covered in garbage while people were making fun of him. But then he immediately just started firing off his quirk into his hands, saying, "Got any problem extras?" while walking into the classroom with a banana peel on his head, just so you know. And everyone asked why he has a banana peel on his head. He removed it, was quite embarrassed, and he said, "It's just a fashion statement." He still remembers that. POV change present. Currently, Izuku Midoriya is really trying to find out what to do, considering the actual quest that he did with kissing Mitsuki on the cheek. It ended up giving him quite a lot of points. It gave him up to 5,000 points. He doesn't know if he wants to save it or just spend. I mean, he could get a few spends off, so he could probably do that. While he's thinking this, he realizes, oh no, I'm still late for my training. Immediately tries to get up out of his bed, but right when he does, and he jumps out of his bed, he ends up flying all the way up to the ceiling and getting his head stuck in the ceiling. And immediately he says, "System." The system pops out and says, "Yes, you called." While Izuku said, "Why? What just happened? I just jumped out of bed and I just flew into the ceiling. That's not normal, is it?" And the system says, "Yeah, that's definitely not normal." And Izuku said, "Yeah, I thought so. So what happened?" And then the system says, "Do you know that strength enhancement quirk that you had? Well, it took a while for it to adjust to your body, and it's just now adjusted, so now you're going to have, like, superhuman strength for the rest of your life. And you don't know how to control it, I'm guessing, considering you made sweet, sweet love to that ceiling that you're currently stuck in. I mean, you could have asked it out for dinner first." And immediately Izuku said, "It wasn't my option. I didn't choose this." And the system says, "Yeah, you didn't choose the ceiling life, but it chose you." While Izuku says, "Can you help me out?" And the system says, "I would, but this is hilarious. Plus, I can't actually. I'm just a system in your head." While Izuku says, "Oh yeah, I forgot. You didn't have to be so sassy." While the system says, Are you talking back to me, boy?" And then Izuku just says, "You know what? I'm just gonna ignore this." He literally says, "The system close." System just closes, and Izuku screams out for his mom. His mom runs all the way up the stairs, opens the door in a panic, and says, "Yeah, Izuku." Before seeing that he's stuck in the ceiling, she gets worried, and she says, "Izuku, are you okay?" While Izuku says, "Yeah, I'm just doing peachy. I'm just stuck in the ceiling. Can you please help me?" While she says, "Is that sass, young man?" And he swore that he could hear a belt. He immediately just switched that attitude up real quick and says, "Nope. Could you please help me?" She literally just threw the belt to the side, just went up towards Izuku, grabbed him by his waist, and said, "All right, I'm about to pull you down." While Izuku says, "No, I suggest that you just call someone to pull me down. After all, we don't want you accidentally pulling me down and my neck either being torn off or something." While she just ignores this and literally just pulls him downwards, and the most embarrassing thing happens. Right when she pulls downwards, she accidentally pulls his pants down, exposing his almighty tidy whities. And Izuku's completely embarrassed, and he says, I feel a breeze. Is everything alright?" And then Inko just says, I may have accidentally pantsed you." While Izuku says, could you just call someone so I can get out? Also, before you leave, could you please pull up my pants so that they don't just see me, my almighty tidy whities?" And then he realized something. He heard no response from Inko. Inko was already down the stairs, only heard half of what he said. It was about calling help. to get him out from the ceiling. And Izuku realized this, and he thought in his head, this is going to be so embarrassing, isn't it? An hour later, 911 operators arrive onto the scene, which was the weirdest call ever. Like, Iko just called a 911 operator and said, "Help, my son is stuck in the ceiling." And the 911 operator said, "All right, on our way." Like, honestly, just imagine that call. All right, back to the story. So, immediately, the 911 operators knock on the door. Inko is at the door, opens it, and says, "Oh, I'm so glad that you guys came. I actually need you guys to help me get my son out of the ceiling." They immediately go up the stairs towards Izuku's room. She opens the door, and then she realizes, "Oh, I forgot to pull up his pants." And then they all just look at his All Might tidy whities, and they all just start bursting out laughing. Like, there is 4 cops there. They're all bursting out laughing. They're on the floor rolling over. And Izuku says, Mom, please tell me you didn't invite other people in. I mean, I told you to call for help, but I didn't mean actually call for help and leave me pantsed. Thank you very much." While Inko just says, sorry about that, she says with a nervous smile, knowing he's going to be pissed when he gets out. And the 911 operators just looking at Izuku. One of them just walks up towards him and says, "All right, we're just going to go ahead and have to, pull you down, okay?" All of them grab him, and they start pulling him downwards. And right when they do, one of them accidentally grabs the All Might tidy whities, and they pull it down. And then, this was a female officer, just so you know. And right when that happens, gets slapped directly in the face with something. It just immediately is terrified, because just looks directly at Izuku and just sees a kaiju. And then they all just take a moment of silence while looking at him. And when one of them just drops to the floor saying, "Damn!" While another one just says, "What does this man eat?" He walks towards the mom and says, "What do you feed this boy? Whatever you do, please feed me it. I need to be like that." While one girl is just blushing. While one of the actual officers is just blushing. And Izuku says, "Please pull up all my tidy whities. And please put my pants on." An hour later, Izuku's just fucking terrified. Like, he finally got out of the, ceiling, and he finally had his All Might tidy whities on, and his actual pants on, and he's looking at the officers, and like 2 of the officers walking, just casually asking him questions like, "What do you eat? What did they feed you? And how did you get so big?" While another one's just asking a few other questions like, why the All Might tidy whities though? And there's just one just completely quiet. There was one who was recording the entire thing until, underwear was pulled down by accident, and just uploaded it. While Izuku did not notice this, until all of a sudden he pulled out his phone and says, "Oh, hey, Kachan texted me." He looks at the phone and sees that Kachan said, "Hey, look who's famous." All of a sudden he sees a video pop up, like, on an attachment. And he says, "Hey, he sent me this video." He presses the video, and he just sees the officers walk into his room, and him in his tidy whities, and it just stopped when they were trying to pull him downwards. It just stopped. The video stopped. But it was a hilarious sight enough. And Izuku immediately looked towards the guy who filmed all of it, looked towards the other officers, and said, "So, just a question. Is it illegal to beat the absolute crap out of a cop if they're off duty?" And literally the other ones in the room, all 3 of the ones that did not record it, said, I mean, if they're off duty, I mean, technically you'd be charged with assault, but that's only if they really catch you," is what one of them says. And Izuku says, "Okay, so when does he get off duty?" He points towards the man. The man's currently just shrinking down a little bit, as he's been caught red-handed. And they just respond, he's actually off duty right now. And Izuku just says, "Oh, really?" And he says, "Hey, do you guys mind? I mean, my mom's cooking cookies. She should be down. She said she was gonna cook some cookies. I mean, you guys could like stay and eat some cookies. Just don't bother to come up here for a little bit, please. I need some privacy, private talk with him." And all of a sudden, they just see the fury in this man's eyes, and they literally just look at the man, the police officer that recorded it, and all three of them say at the same time, "He going to send you to Jesus." While they said this, the man just gulped, and they all just rushed out of the room. They ran down the stairs, even Inko did. Inko was cooking some cookies. They were enjoying their cookies, and they just heard screaming from Izuku's room. And a few hours later, the cop that recorded just walked down the stairs saying, "Hi, Joe. Hi, how you doing?" And he was just completely confused. His jaw looked like it was busted, and literally he was limping. This man was limping, and he was walking down the stairs, and they just said, "Don't you think that's a little bit too much?" While Zeke was walking down the stairs with him, and he said, "Oh, really? I looked at the video and how many views, and let me just tell you, that was not good." And they said, "How many views was it?" And he said, "It's 69 million." And all of a sudden, a few people, like two of the guy officers who were eating cookies, ended up coughing up the cookies and started laughing, saying 69, and they start chuckling while the one girl says, "Boys." And they look towards the guy who's still limping, the one cop still limping, and Izuku stares towards them and says, "You didn't see anything." And they all say, "Yeah, we didn't see anything. That seems fair." They immediately just walk away. And Izuku thinks in his head, "This is going to be so embarrassing. I can't even leave the house without people recognizing me. I can already tell that someone's going to recognize me when I leave the house." While he says this out loud and the cops are finally gone, Iko says, "Honey, no one's going to recognize you. I mean, they didn't see your face." And Izuku said, "Oh, yeah, you're right. They didn't see my face. I mean, it's not like they're going to find out somehow." And then he gets a text sent to him, and he feels the vibration in his phone that was in his pocket and feels the text that was sent towards him. He pulls out his phone. He sees a text and it says, "Hey, Izuku, I posted your photo for the video. I mean, they should know who you are, right?" And Izuku immediately thinks of how to kill someone without getting imprisoned for said thing, for killing that said person. He's thinking about murder plots on Katsuki right now. While currently Katsuki is in the shower just shivering from something. He's thinking, "Why am I so scared? I don't understand." And back to Izuku. Izuku immediately says, "Okay, it's settled. I'm just gonna train." And he just starts doing some training for a few months on Daiba Beach, which the entire time he's training with his quirk enhancer. He's training with the quirks he currently has, or skills he currently has. And the most awkward one is the bondage one, which you'll find out why during the UA entrance exam in the next part. I hope you all enjoyed What If Deku Had the Milf System, Part 3. I hope you all enjoyed.